Hey there, how are you doing? A very, very good morning to you, wherever you are. It is the 7th of September. A week from today is the 14th of September, and I am really excited because a week from today, I'll be starting off a free 5-day masterclass. Let me ask you a quick question, okay? Do you know people around you when there's a difficult situation, or maybe you yourself have a think about where you are on this scale? Are you somebody who totally reacts, or are you somebody who takes a second and thinks about it and responds? Well, in everything, in a sports field, in an office, in a family situation, there's always those that react and they're losing, and there's those that respond and they're winning. You see, change is always happening, always happening. If 2020 hasn't shown that, then no other year has. Change can happen. Somebody may leave you. A business may close down. The kids will grow up and they'll leave and go to college. Lots of different things happen. Change is always happening, but personal growth is 100% a choice all of the time. What separates those individuals, the ones that react, from the ones that respond? Why do some people seem to keep their head when others all around them seem to be losing theirs? Well, it comes down to one very, very simple but very powerful word, and it is thinking. The people who are responding to the situation have a totally different type of thinking than the people that are reacting. And it is that thinking that is going to change how they're feeling about the situation. It is going to absolutely have an enormous impact on their actions. And the actions that those people take will get the reaction, either the reaction that they want or don't want. So if you're somebody who loses control in a situation, then you are getting emotionally involved in the outcome that you don't want. You'll start thinking it's probably going to go bad and it's probably going to go this way. And you're probably right most of the time. You know that more than I do. I don't know you, but you know what that feels like. If you worry about the outcome that you don't want, you're potentially bringing that outcome towards you. If you look at a situation and you say, I'm not accepting that, it hasn't happened yet, I'm going to change it, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen, you generally make sure it doesn't happen. So it all comes down to thinking. And it wasn't until about 100 years ago where people really started to write down what thinking was in the human race. It is in every single one of your lives, every single person. I'm streaming into 4 different platforms with this one video. Every single person watching this is aware of what I'm talking about. You all know that you live with someone that you love, flatmates, housemates, but the one thing you're living with is this non-stop thinking mind. It is constantly going. And when it's not in control, when you don't know how to live with your own thoughts, you're on, as my mentor Bob Proctor would say, you're out there on an ocean of motion. You're like a cork out in the Atlantic Ocean, just bobbing along. But when you learn how to control your thinking, you become very focused, very organized, very productive, very confident. You're in control of your thinking and your non-physical body, but you're also really, really in control of the physical body, because so many of the symptoms, and I learned this from doing acupuncture for 10 years, so many of the symptoms that people present to an acupuncturist or to a doctor are often psychosomatic. They've often been worry setting up tummy problems, anxiety setting up maybe some palpitations or lack of sleep. These are all thinking problems. They're not physical problems. The physical problem in the body is the result. The physical problem in a bank account is the result of poor, unfocused and disorganized thinking. So this book, Think and Grow Rich, was really what started the whole personal development world. And of course, it's such a huge industry now, 40-something billion every year, alone in the corporate world, let alone what people are paying on a private capacity, is being spent on people learning how to learn, like people learning how to make a change to their life and to their circumstances, with just thinking. They know, like everyone that shows up today, me and my team will be talking to many people. They watched a webinar last night and they registered to have conversations with us today, because what we say on that webinar totally appeals to the person, and this video is probably appealing to you as well. We know we can be doing a lot better. We know that it's not entirely our responsibility, maybe why we're where we are right now, but it is our responsibility to make that change. And if it feels like the right time for you, you know what, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of other people seem to be doing well and I'm kind of stuck, then it's your time. And a great way to start off, as I said, is next week. Wherever you see this post, I've put in some text as well, and there's a link for a Facebook group. Just click on the link and you'll join a free Facebook group that's going to be only live for 1 week. So from Monday till Friday next week, I'm going to be going live every day picking 5 of my favorite chapters, and I've got a workbook as well that's going to help you to bring the power of that chapter to life in your world. So we'll be talking about persistence. We'll be talking about fear versus faith. If somebody is reactionary, they're fearful. If they have faith that things are going to work out, and they're responsive. We're going to be talking about your attitude. We're going to be talking about decision making. And the best of all is that we've done these before, and in these weeks, everyone kind of gets to know everybody. You see people are commenting, and just the energy in the group goes off the charts. We've seen some amazing changes take place in people's lives after they've been through the workshop. It's an hour a day, and you can always watch the replay back. So register for this it's workshop, masterclass, whatever you want to call it yourself. It's going to be from 12 o'clock until 1 every single day next week, Monday to Friday. And as I say, we've a lot of people who've registered who can't watch it live because they work 9 to 5, and that's okay. You can watch the replay back that evening. And what we will do is, as long as you register and fill out the questions, there's 3 questions we want you to fill out. We'll take care of the rest. We'll email you the workbook. We'll assign you a customer service person that's going to work with you all week if you have any questions about the specific lesson that we're doing that day. But what I can promise you is this 1 week, even if you do one of the 5 days, it is going to start altering the course and the direction of where you go from here on in. Because if I can just teach you over an hour about how to be more persistent and why anyone would develop persistence, and by the way, it's not something you get from the outside in, you develop and you grow persistence within you. And every single human being has the ability to learn that. And there's only one real way to learn how to become persistent. I think generations and generations before us, especially here in Ireland, if you're watching this in Ireland, persistence was something that people thought you could teach a young person through a very forceful type of a methodology, and that's not actually true. We conjure up persistence within by really setting out 4 key parts, and I'm going to explain that a week from today. Actually, persistence is my first lesson, and we'll go on from there. So as I said, this is going to be something that is really going to make a big impact on your life. It certainly did on mine. I listened to people talking about this book, and I read it, and I listened to the audiobook, and I could not relate to these people. They were, as one of my clients, a wonderful girl from London said, she goes, "I'm taking advice from old dead white guys," and that was it too. I couldn't really relate to it, but I was reading it in the wrong way. I was reading this book as if the knowledge from the outside was going to change my world. And what I actually wasn't doing was I wasn't doing experiential learning. I wasn't taking the principles and applying them to my life. And then when I started to do that, every single thing changed. I'll spare you the details, but you're going to be hearing from me, some of my colleagues from around the world, some of the clients I've worked with who've literally become, they're no better or worse than you or me. But what they've done is they've reorganized their thinking mind, and they're going after what they want instead of hoping, wishing, praying, dreaming that things are going to turn around. Success is an inside job, and success doesn't mean you're not going to see any bull crap on this webinar, and people are on this masterclass where people are like, what would you call it? Like influencers, like saying, "Oh, look at this and look at that." You really feel it's really authentic people just saying, "Look, my marriage was kind of going down the wrong road, and I literally started changing how I was thinking about everything, and I turned that around." Or I was always opening and closing businesses and never seeing things through to the end, and all of a sudden they're just so productive, highly effective. And like, we had a lot of clients who, if we knew what was going to happen in Ireland in March, April, May, June, July, all of that COVID stuff, they probably wouldn't have decided to invest in themselves and become a client of ours in November, December, January, or even February, but they did. And what we found was, at the beginning, they probably went, "Oh, flip it, why did I invest in myself? I might have needed that money for a rainy day." But that was the rainy day. And actually what they got was knowledge and information and support that helped them to diversify, that helped them take their businesses online. We have people who absolutely thrived and prospered throughout COVID-19 because they were thinking, acting, and feeling in the right way. So that's what this masterclass is all about. 1 week of, there's 13 principles in this book, and we're going to be going through 5 of them. Not just me, other people are going to be contributing to. The energy in the group is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I highly recommend you register. See you there.